instead of a B.
My kid
and it
says
drives
that.
me insane.
I correct him every time.
I do it every time too.
Neighbors? My dad used to say
Neighbors
ideals
with
instead
a
of
V.
ideas.
Ideals?
Yeah, and me being, an English and geography major, I'd try to correct him, and that would never go.
Yeah,
it's ideas.
He's at that age where you
Ideals.
can't tell him.
I have an ideal how to
Yeah.
do this. What the hell's that? That doesn't mean anything, Dad.
Oh, you're gonna want to smack me like 30 times on this show.
He's at that age where you can't tell him anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean, he's too
As
set
far
in
as
his
I know,
ways.
and he's
like,
always
I don't
been in that age.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No correcting him. What are you, the grammar Nazi?
Correct.
Yes.
I fought Nazis in World War II.
Not quite that old.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for you. Actually, one of our listeners often listens on his phone.
Oh, okay.
Because he can't get on the computer. I don't know
All right.
if he's at work or something.
Sure.
So he'll message me questions. And it's Tyzone, and he said he loves you guys.
Oh,
Hey!
thank you.
And he wanted everyone to know. He says hello, and he also had some questions. If you like hockey and basketball.
I'm not a
What
big
is
hockey
this
person.
hockey you talk about?
Sports? What? I'm not a big hockey person, but I do like basketball. I do like watching basketball.
And you?
Actually, I do like sports quite a bit. I just don't care for professional sports, mostly because of the presentation. I know that sounds weird.
Yeah,
And I
but
get a lot
college
of-
sports are getting just as
I-
bad.
Oh, I know. I agree completely. Actually, I don't watch a lot of sports. I would prefer to go drive down to a high school and see if there's kids playing football because I enjoy that much more than watching.
Yeah, I like
the
to
In a
NFL or
non-creepy
something.
way, though, right?
Oh no, absolutely, yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Stop breathing.
No, I like the game. I don't like the presentation.
I actually agree with you. I prefer not like just little children's sports because I have to, but like high school and stuff like that because they're playing not for the money or anything like that. They're playing for the blood and sweat that they're putting into it.
Yeah.
And
Look at me.
And a lot of times I'll put a game of something on and I'll mute it and put on music.
Here's the thing, college
Just because
sport-
I hate the presentation. I hate it.
Yeah.
College
It's
sports
terrible.
is getting just as bad.
Oh yeah.
But
well, what about
but UNLV is so terrible that they will never sort of get in on that scene. So I love going to UNLV and watching a UNLV
Well,
basketball
that and
game.
it's like $10.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
It's
No,
entertaining,
so much
to
anymore.
watch.
So no, what I thought was hilarious is they've got these. Was it UMass who's saying that we're employees of the university and we
Yeah,
need
they
to
wanna
be
get paid.
unionized.
What?
It's like no, you're students.
These are
at the-
players?
Players.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: you say that they are employees and they should
Wow.
unionize and get paid, and it's like, no, you're
Okay,
students.
but let me interject on something like that. Okay, you go to a university and you win a championship. Okay, look at all the years that Duke won, and the university, the coaches, whatever, they get all that money. They get money for winning the NCAA or the tournament. So what do the players get? Of course, they get a college education. I get that. Okay, done.
The players? Well, I don't know about
Free.
that.
They don't just get a college education; they get a free college education.
Okay, but let me finish. So what happens during that 3 years or 4 years or whatever long they're playing? They blow out their knee. They do something. They're done, right? So I think my point of view on it is maybe not pay them while they're in college, but if they win that championship, the schools that do put money aside for them for when they're out of school and they're done. So in case something like that happens, or if they go to the pros and they blow their knee out in the first year, they have money. Why should the university itself be the only one who benefits? Especially when they spend so much time in practice, they can't work part-time jobs, so they can't save money. They have to be at practice certain time. That's just kind of
Where
my
are
take
they
on it a
paying
little
them?
bit.
I
But here's
would
the thing-
agree with you, except that the percentage of players that come out of college and go to professionals is so small
Agreed.
that it's
Agreed.
almost an irrelevant argument.
And then there's
Almost.
the whole point of the. They technically are getting paid upwards of $100,000 a year because most of them are on a completely free ride to that school.
But compare that to what the university's making by winning a
Well,
championship.
compare that to the kid who's only got a partial scholarship because he doesn't play sports, but he's got a really great, like straight A's in high school and stuff.
If I may interject, I will say that this argument could quickly become so faceted that it boils down to the fact that our education system is fundamentally broken in this country.
It is.
It is.
Fundamentally.
Sports
are your only way out,
Because we
kid.
could just go from one thing to another to another to another, and it's
No,
it's
it is.
absolutely true. The money's going to the wrong direction.
It's terrible.
what I
I'm one of the reasons my kid is in riding lessons right now is because most colleges have a rodeo team, but there's not a lot of kids coming up going, "Hey, I want to be on the rodeo team."
Yeah.
So he can get a free ride on rodeo scholarship. I'm like, "That's right,
Do it.
boy.
Yeah.
Go to A&M.
Tell you
Free
about that.
ride.
For the
Yeah.
first time ever, I'm driving down Tropicana, and on the electronic billboards, I see UNLV has a rodeo team. They're advertising it, and I'm like,
Really?
has that always happened? Has that? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
that-
like,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they've
They
had
said
a
it was
rodeo team for a long time.
UNLV rodeo team, and I'm like, what?
Well,
Makes sense. I mean, we have NFR here.
we
but I
have
was like,
NFR and GBR and everything else.
Yeah.
They're all here because this is the best place to have them. I mean, there's no humidity in the air to fuck with your animal's lungs, and it's
Well, and
Yeah.
I'm sure the rodeo team would be better than the football team. So.
the women's debate team is better than the football team.
What are you trying to say about women debating?
I'm saying they're badass and football players not so much. But we love UNLV because it's the only team we have to root for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we
that's,
don't.
Well, we have the 51s, but who's heard of them outside of
I
Las
put
Vegas?
too much faith in them.
We know
Every March Madness, whoever team they're up against in my bracket, I always pick them, and knowing that's incorrect, knowing that the minute I pick them, I'm going to lose.
Well, no, and-
they're going to lose.
They could be
but
playing the
and I'll bet you
University of
n-
Poughkeepsie, and we would
And
still
I bet you
lose.
no one knows this, but our UFL team, which is professional football, UFL ran for 4 years. We won the first 3 championships, and we're in the fourth championship game, and we lost.
Yeah, they played at the
So we had a
Orleans Arena,
very
right?
successful. No, this was an outdoor league.
Oh, that's
This
right.
is
You
a-
said
Not
that.
the
Sorry,
Arena League,
sorry.
the Stingers. I love those guys.
Yeah, this was an outdoor league. Actually.
They have an outdoor football team
It's
here.
gone.
It's
UFL,
gone now.
United Football League.
They're starting another one up, and I don't know all the
We had
details.
an awesome
Is it
team.
a semi-pro?
No.
Well, yeah.
My brother played semi-pro, but an East Coast one,
Oh,
like
cool.
the EFL or something.
That's
the
cool.
E,
Yeah, there was a few of them. They
REFL.
pop up every now and again.
because he came out and played a
Sometimes-
championship game in Mesquite years ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, some billionaire gets wild hair up his ass, starts his own football
Starts
league.
on football
Yeah.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, Christy.
Well, the
his,
UFL did
twin
some
son,
things that were
he's
really
playing
cool.
for the team that's starting
Like
up.
they did the whole
How old?
instant replay with the
He
cameras.
is
Mhm.
But what they would
20.
do is
Yeah.
once the refs
About
would
that.
look,
My
as
brother
soon as the
played for years,
camera
he
went to
just
look at a
had
play,
to,
they would just
his
fix everything
team
wrong with the play. They didn't screw
sort
around
of
with this whole,
disbanded, so
the
he
guy in the
retired. He's a
field has
quarterback.
carte blanche.
So
We
he
gotta.
retired this
No,
year.
they're
He's
just like, you know what?
30
No, this happened, this happened, this
So
happened.
he's
Fix it,
starting
and
to
then they
feel
just
it.
fixed it. They didn't
Nice.
f around with this where they go to commercial and 15 minutes later you get a freaking ruling on the field. It's like ridiculous. UFL, they go right to the camera. Maybe a minute later, boom, play went on.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
And
The
they had a
NFL
lot of
should
they
be
had a lot
played
of pro
that way.
coaches too.
That's
So.
good.
I personally am excited for football this season. Schedules came out this year. And
So
my team is playing on the West Coast this year, so I'm excited. 2 games on
Which
the West
team
Coast.
is that?
I'm from upstate New York, so I'm a Bills fan.
Yep.
And they've always sucked. Yes, I know. But we have a little hope in them with their new quarterback, EJ Manuel.
Their kicker has been one of my fantasy kickers like every year for the last 7 years.
Who is it? Refresh my memory.
Ryan Lindell,
Lindell. Okay.
solid kicker.
Yeah. So,
Issues?
yeah, go Bills.
Yeah,
Woo!
your mic is cutting in and out. I need to go look at it in a minute. So
How about
Anywho.
now?
that's
Can
good.
you
As
hear
long
me?
as you talk directly into it.
Okay.
Which have you ever been? No, I was gonna go. Have you ever been on a show before?
You ever
Joking,
been eye to
I know
eye
you
with your
have.
favorite snake?
No, maybe.
What?
Sometimes.
Eye to eye with your favorite snake? No.
Oh, I thought you
No.
were doing like shout out Cowtown again or
Shout
something.
out Cowtown.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here?
Polishing the rusty sheriff's badge.
Wow. Wow.
Why do I?
Again, it is that.
You guys
kind
do
of
know I
show.
practice this shit all week long. I'm online like, what else can I call a butthole? Ooh, a leather Cheerio. Rusty sheriff's badge.
That's brilliant.
Leather
Leather
Cheerios.
Cheerios, pretty goddamn brilliant.
I like leather
That was pretty
That
Cheerio.
was good.
But I like rusty sheriff's badge because you can call it,
That's good too. That's actually really good too.
you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Sat
with
down
that.
and went right up my rusty sheriff's badge.
That's right. Pierced right through the middle of it. Sorry.
It's a starfish.
They're the chocolate starfish.
Winking
Chocolate
starfish.
Yeah.
The winking starfish.
That's right.
Sweet Cheeks is gonna have to show you her asshole when she gets here. She has a
Whoa.
big.
You'd call it a sarlacc pit.
Whoa. Sarlacc pit.
pit.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
A little scary though.
You're
A little
welcome.
scary. Not gonna deny that.
welcome.
Well, if your sarlacc pit has teeth in it, we need to have some discussions. You might need.
That's
to
not
see a
normal?
doctor.
That's not
No,
normal?
that's not normal.
No.
Tentacles and shit. Not normal.
No,
Not
not
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
Noises. Not normal.
No.
Fire shooting out.
Depends on what kind of noise.
Bounty hunters flying out of it. Not normal.
No.
These are Star Wars references. I'm
Half
sorry.
naked girls
I-
flying into
again,
it?
no.
Not normal.
I had
I
no
used to bounty
clue.
hunter because all I could think of was I was watching Doug. Doug,
Doug?
the bounty hunter.
Doug, that's his cousin, Doug.
It's like Nickelodeon is joined forces with Dog.
He has
Doug,
a less
the bounty
popular. He has a less popular bounty hunting show. It's on PBS.
My name is Doug, and I'm a computer programmer. My brother's Dog, the bounty hunter.
In my part-time bounty hunt.
I do taxidermy. Some weird.
What? How do you catch these guys? Well, I'm a 4th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. I know
Aren't they
jiu-jitsu.
all 4th degree black belts
No.
in jiu-jitsu?
That's what jujitsu. That's a word I can't say.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jujitsu.
There you
Should I
go.
do
Got
it?
Yeah.
I said it fine.
Sweet. Never mind. I can say it. I guess.
So you go home and you
Nothing
tell somebody,
stopping
check it out.
me.
I can say jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu.
Jujitsu.
I was gonna say,
Jiu-jitsu.
Jujitsu.
Ju-
you can
Jujitsu.
say a lot of things when you're not slurring them.
When you're
Sure.
sober.
No.
So how drunk were you last night? Were you drunker than my mother? That's the comparison.
No,
now.
I wasn't.
Sadly, I
Wow.
Oh wait, you're not talking about.
How drunk were you? Were you as drunk as my mom? Because she was really fucked up.
She was.
She was.
Actually,
was
she
fucked
was.
She
She
was.
was.
She burped fire.
Pretty much.
So, tell us about last night, ladies. How was it?
Whoa,
Well,
what?
let me. Okay.
All
Let me,
right, here we go. Here we go.
In great detail, please.
How
Let
many
me
people
start
did you
with
make out
this.
with?
None. Let me start with this.
All right, start with this. Go.
So I'm in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
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 Just looking around, getting my fingers in it.
I like where this is going. Yeah.
And so I go over to say hi to Glitz, and her
Wait,
mom
whoa,
comes
what?
up. So I backed out, put my clothes on, and then went back.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
club.
Okay. All right. See.
There
You
we
get it.
go.
You made me think there's someone else in the room.
So her mom comes up and hugs me, and we're hugging, and she's like, "This is my mom," and I'm like, I know. And so her mom turns to me and she goes,
Can you do with a straight face? Go.
"Don't make out with me. You're gonna chip my tooth."
What? Wait, was she drunk at this point? Okay, are you sure that
see,
she was?
because
Don't make out with me, cause she must.
The last time these two made out, they bumped teeth, and
Okay.
So she said I'm a
Glitz.
very toothy kisser, like I almost chipped her tooth. So her mother did not want me to chip her tooth
Oh, okay.
by making out with her.
This story was a lot more amusing when we didn't know that backstory.
Yeah.
Don't try to kiss me, cause it chip my tooth.
Shit.
Chip my tooth.
And then do you remember what you said to my mother when we were talking to the friends over in the corner about going in the parking lot? In front of my mother, she goes, "Are you going to go in the parking lot and give this guy head and squirt all over him?"
What?
Wow.
I'm just like, what the hell?
I'm gonna say yes to that.
Still drunk?
But I think that came up because I didn't initiate the squirting. Your mother brought up the fact that on the show last week we discussed she had to at some point turn it off that we were talking about it. But because I said that I don't squirt and she wanted you to remember your can or you forgot your can or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But yeah, this was my statement the whole night last night, shaking my head. Fuck my life right now. Like my mother was like the goddamn social butterfly at the club.
that's awesome.
Okay, see, a little backstory. My mother only comes into town once a year, and we do like a girls' weekend kind of thing.
Do it big, right?
Yeah. So it was her 60th birthday. She came to town. I took her out to dinner, and I took her to see the Temptations. I'm a big Motown fan, and because of her. So she's drinking at the show already, at dinner. So by the time we get, and she's like, "Okay, we'll go by the club. We'll go have a few drinks. We'll pop in, we'll pop out." Let me tell you, I was pulling my mother out of there at 1:30 only because I had to, because she's like, "I'm gonna be sick." Okay, it's time to go.
She was fabulous. She was fabulous.
She was picking up men and bringing them to me, literally carrying them, holding their hand, not carrying them, holding their hands across the dance floor. "This is my daughter, Tammy," and I'm standing there looking at men like,
That's
"Hi."
it. This is my daughter, Tammy.
And then they're like, "Oh, well, we know you're single and that you just turned 40." And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, Mom, you don't know."
And your social security number is.
And your mom says that you need to have a dance with me.
And she says that you can squirt,
She didn't say that.
but she knows.
But she knows.
This is my daughter Tammy. Put a baby in there. right there.
Yeah.
Right here.
Here's the spot.
You're welcome.
Wink. You guys are coming back, right?
Oh my god, that was great.
I really think we should be a show with 4 ladies and 2 dudes.
I think so. But I have to say, one of the guys she brought over to me, I'm actually communicating with. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Good job, Mom.
right.
Way to go. And then at that point, since her mom was already helping and got the ball rolling, I offered to have her take it to the next step.
She's so between the two of them, now I'm getting tag teamed and not in a fun way. I'm like, and this poor guy's like, yeah.
And you're just like, yeah. If you want to get with me, you got to get with my friends. Sorry about that.
Well, you know, the good thing about him
My
is he knows
mom.
how fucking crazy my family is.
Yeah, get that part out of the way. Like, that's always the weird part, you know?
You
I
know,
mean,
my
when
God.
I had to...
That's
You
first
imagine-
date conversation. Oh, and by the way, I have a sister that lives in a van down by the river, and it just gets better from there. So, I do.
Oh, okay.
Actually-
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sweet.
good times.
Cocaine.
That's awesome.
I just have the sister who will steal your, kidneys while you're sleeping and sell them on the black market.
Damn.
Like, that's, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. She'll shank you if you
What
look
does
at
she
her
use the money
twice.
for?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Education purposes, we'll say.
That is a dedication to education, ladies and gentlemen.
Round of applause.
Wow.
Let's get off this order to my mother.
At least she's a fun drunk.
She was, and some guy was picking up at her at the bar,
Ooh.
buying her shots, which didn't help. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Oh, so I walk over and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really interested in you and your mom." Okay,
You
then-
and your
Whoa.
mom. Nope.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Slow your
out.
roll, Smokey.
I'm out.
I have this fantasy, see?
You know that those people on the porno's not really related.
They're not?
What?
No. They,
Yes,
they
they
have
are.
that out there?
No.
Well, what about
I
the
refuse to
twins?
believe.
Huh?
What about when they're twins?
Well, no, those bitches just have issues. So they're like the Lannisters in that regard. No, right.
What's
over.
But when you're the
Good
guy,
reference.
Thank
They
you.
didn't
When-
get it now.
when-
did you?
yeah,
Not at all?
again?
Why do you
nothing?
assume we didn't get it?
I realized I made a mistake.
I mean, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. That's
When you're
true.
Okay,
when you're the dude in the situation with twins, though, you don't really care about their issues.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. I'm sure you don't.
Or when you're trying to get with a mom and her daughter, it's like whatever. That's your issue. All I know is I'm here to have a good time.
So,
See, I think I could see
What are
that
you guys
from a girl's
into?
perspective. Not the son and father thing, because that would be creepy. But twin brothers, that would be kind of hot, I think.
Oh, you have, like they made out and stuff.
I think as long
No.
as their swords
Oh,
didn't
okay.
cross, I think
As long
that's
as
okay.
the streams don't cross.
Their swords don't
swords
Oh
cross.
yeah, as long as they don't bang drumsticks together. It's cool.
Yeah.
what?
Sword fight.
You've never heard of a sword fight?
Yeah.
That's a pretty violent homosexual act to just start slamming each other's penises together.
I really like when he slaps his penis on my penis. It's sexy. I dig it.
That's
Oh,
a negative
God.
thing? I don't understand. Why is that
Somebody
a
start
negative
searching
thing?
penis
I got
slapping
you.
porn.
I got you.
I'm on it. Let me get Siri. Siri, find me penis slapping porn.
It'll bring up a
Whoa.
whole different fetish.
Whoa.
That I may have started. You're welcome, homosexual community.
First you saw bum fights.
And now sword fights.
Now sword fights.
Sword fights. Hate
Sword.
swords.
S-word fights.
May the Schwartz be with you.
What was that movie? The old Blake
Spaceballs.
Edwards movie with
May the Schwartz
John
be with
Ritter?
you.
No, with John Ritter where they had the glow in the dark condoms.
Hold on. If you're trying to sound
Oh, I
smart,
don't
don't say
remember.
Spaceballs.
It was Spaceballs.
It was.
There was some
Well, that was
Spaceballs.
See, I was
Spaceballs.
trying to say-
There is a movie called
There's
Spaceballs.
another
There
movie
is.
where they're
By
wearing
the
glow
great
in the
Mel
dark condoms
Brooks.
and fighting, and they do the whole lightsaber shtick.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that.
Spaceballs is awesome.
Yeah, that's how I knew that. See, I
love
watched some of that stuff.
Spaceballs.
I will honestly admit, though, I've never, ever watched Star Wars ever in my
What?
life.
Not even once?
What do you guys think of the new Star Wars? I'm excited that it's happening 15 years later. I've always wanted to see Luke and Leia rebuild the Jedi Order.
If that's even what's going to happen.
All I will say is that they can't do any worse.
They can't do
This
any
guy's
worse.
a pessimist. That's
true.
all.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
They're all guilty
The
until
prequels
proven
were
innocent.
just terrible. The prequels are terrible.
They were great to bring in the new generation.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
Well, I guess with kids who don't understand like the greatness that was the original 3 Star Wars, then
That's
yeah,
true.
but then when they grow older and they watch the original 3 Star Wars.
What do you think about Carrie Fisher revising her role as Leia? An old.
You're so indifferent to everything.
Who doesn't care?
What do you
Well,
think
there's
about
just some things? It's like
what do
I
you think
just-
about fuchsia lightsaber blades?
Well, because it's like okay, let's look at Star Wars for instance. I'm talking about the original movie when it was called Star Wars,
The Trinity, yes.
and Empire Strikes Back: Return of the Jedi. I have those. I have them.
Yeah.
What Lucas did after that sort of ruined my personal feeling of Star Wars, but I still have those. Even
Right.
though he's tried to ruin them, I actually have a copy on DVD. The original theatrical release.
I have the VHS
I don't
originals.
need anything else because he's already effed them up. It's like the new Godzilla. I feel the same way about it. It's like I'm indifferent to it. It's not because I'm not going to see it. But if it sucks, then I watch it and I forget about it.
I want a
If it's
Mothra
good,
movie.
I have something new. That's a good thing.
So they're all
Yeah.
guilty until proven innocent for you.
I wouldn't say guilty. They're all just, they don't matter until they prove that they do matter. You know?
That's exactly how I feel about my 3 favorite books that were turned into movies. So,
Divergent.
no, The
Twilight?
Perks of Being a Wallflower, World War
That movie was
Z,
good.
and The Great Gatsby.
World War
I haven't
Z,
seen the
book-
Gatsby.
Gatsby.
movie.
World War Z, the book was amazing.
Yes,
That movie, not so much.
exactly. Thank you.
I haven't seen
At
any
all.
of them or read any.
Good.
Of
World
those.
War Z is an amazing book.
Yeah.
Amazing book.
Don't watch the Great Gatsby movie.
No,
I love The
No.
Great Gatsby.
No.
I
Which
read
one?
the book.
Robert Redford
Yeah,
one? Or
exactly.
No, the
the Baz
Leonardo
Luhrmann
DiCaprio.
directed one.
The bad one.
The Baz Luhrmann
I
directed
thought it
one.
was
no.
great with like a lot of the costumes were great and
it just ruined it. And like the Perks of Being a Wallflower is a great coming to age book in my opinion.
I
And
like
then
the movie.
the movie just
I love Emma
Really?
Watson.
Isn't Hermione? Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
isn't
love Emma
Hermione in that
Watson.
movie?
I thought I didn't read the book either, but I thought the movie was really touching. Sad.
Sniffy.
Exactly.
So
I
sad.
shed a tear.
Took you back to the days when you were a young
Not
girl.
as many tears as Captain America 2,
Oh yeah.
but I shed some tears.
I haven't seen Captain
You haven't seen
America.
Captain
I
America
haven't-
2?
What?
I haven't seen it yet.
Your kids haven't dragged you to Captain America 2?
She's
No?
a daughter. I have a boy. And no,
is
we
Harry
haven't been
Styles in Captain America?
He could be.
Harry
Then
Styles.
we didn't
Yeah,
have
who's
to go.
Harry
Yeah, who
Styles?
is Harry
One
Styles?
Direction,
One
isn't it?
Direction.
Oh, okay.
What's
the one
that?
with the hair.
My
boy
nieces
band.
love
Okay,
One
boy band.
Direction.
Like the Jonas Brothers times 2,
What's
basically,
the
right?
Jonas
There's
Brothers?
4
There
of
is
them.
no comparison between the Jonas Brothers and One Direction. No comparison whatsoever.
You're gonna get her on a
Okay,
rant
this
about
is the
Justin
part where
Bieber
me and him
again.
are going to have our own conversation.
Justin Bieber,
What's
go.
a Jonas Brother?
No, seriously, Justin Bieber, go.
Yes, please.
Go.
Somebody deport him.
Aren't they like? It wasn't. I thought I heard something that they weren't gonna let him back in the country or something.
Shouldn't they do like they did with
Shouldn't.
Andrew Dice Clay? You can't be here. Just get out, go away until we can handle you again.
He needs somebody to take the reins because he can't. He's young. He's dumb. And he can't. He needs.
But he's 18 now, so
Well, he's a little. I think he's 19 or 20 even.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
they still need to help rein him in.
ladies and
say,
gentlemen,
"Hey."
these are the people who will be running our corporations.
I doubt he will.
President
I
Justin
doubt anyone
Bieber.
in Justin Bieber's
Oh,
position
God.
will run a corporation. For starters, he'll never have to. He'll never have to. He's already made his money.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless
he
he
could-
blows it on hookers and blow in the next 10 years. which he
Brazilian
No, he-
hookers.
he-
Come on now, don't downgrade it.
That's funny. You know that too.
I actually find
Well, you
the whole
know, here's what-
situation
here's-
sad
Here's how I know
Yes.
that. I saw this
because
video.
he was truly talented
Right.
musically at one point.
Yeah, I saw his original videos and when he was younger and he could sing and it was great. And then
and
somebody gave
Usher
him
got his
coke.
claws into him, and
His movie
No, he
came
was
out
good
like
with
I
it.
cried during his movie. I thought it
Well, I
was
don't know
it
about
was
that.
very.
Well,
I
yeah.
did. Y'all know you did too. Don't lie.
Mm,
But it was very, he was inspirational. He had a lot of great people in his life that were, keeping
Apparently
him
he
on
didn't have
track,
very many
And then they
something
left,
happened.
or then they went back to Canada.
They,
or what?
then
Right,
they started
something
spending his
happened.
money and doing blow themselves. So they
Basically,
were like,
and something
"Eh."
happened, and it's what happens when kids are like this all the time. You get
Well-
these kids who had no guidance,
Well,
and
I don't believe he's blameless. I mean,
no,
nature,
he is-
nature
he's an
nurture. There's
adult.
always a.
yeah, he's an adult. He's making his own bad decisions,
Yeah.
but at some point, maybe I would hope his parents would step
We
in
just
and
put him out of
say,
his misery.
instead of going out with
My
him like his
misery.
father does, and go out and party with him, like, hey, let's
Token
bring
up
it
in the
back
plane.
Yeah. Hot box in a plane. Let's bring it back in a little.
We
Let's bring it back to our
we already
values.
have Brian Adams. Can't we just send him back?
Yeah.
And keep Brian Adams.
I'm down with Brian
Everything I
Adams.
Brian Adams kept his shit together.
Do
for
it.
starters.
do.
Well, no, we got one
Mm.
Canadian. Can we just keep Brian Adams?
No,
and
no,
send
no,
him
no.
back,
We're
or-
A lot
gonna
of
keep.
Canadians.
We're going.
Shatner, Canadian.
Yeah,
Nimoy,
there's-
Canadian.
Ugh. Really?
Ryan Reynolds, Canadian.
Ugh.
Okay, he doesn't count.
Michael
Um,
Bublé.
I don't know.
Canadian.
Ryan Reynolds.
We keep
That's all
him.
right.
He's a
We'll
damn
keep
good
him.
Canadian.
Ryan Bublé or
Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé is
Yes.
Canadian.
I know I loved his
Ryan
music
Bublé's
video,
his
Russian
brother.
Unicorn. Oh, that was bad.
He hangs
not
out with
Canadian.
Who the fuck is Michael Bublé?
Just Google Michael Bublé Russian Unicorn.
Make sure it's
No, no,
Michael
no.
It's
and
an
not
amazing music
Ryan.
video.
Ryan has a used car lot in Ontario.
I've got plenty of Michael Bublé here. Just start listening. I've got every
Everybody
album
out
he's
there,
ever
Google
recorded.
Michael
gonna-
Bublé
music that's gonna
Russian
put me to sleep?
Unicorn. You will not be
Michael
disappointed.
Russian Unicorn.
You will
Michael
not be
Bublé, Russian
disappointed.
Unicorn.
All right,
Awesome.
well,
Fuck you, Suri.
We're gonna need to take a break because I need to school
Look.
chocolates.
She finds
Also, the music
the first
video,
one that came
everyone's
up was
got a
Michael
puke.
Bublé,
Right? Everyone has to puke.
Booblay.
By the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome. All right, we're gonna go to break. We'll be right back after these messages from our friends.
Listen, 'cause I'm